Good evening, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about the simple habit that can improve your blood sugar, digestion, and energy. Okay, so welcome, and I'm so glad you came and watched this video. If you are watching, just comment below and let me know where you're watching from. And then, how many of you feel like super tired after meals, right? Or do you crave something after meals? I know that sometimes, yes, I want a nap after my meals, or sometimes, yes, I want a piece of chocolate after my meals. I am not hungry, but I want a piece of chocolate, right? That is so common. And there are some things that we can do to combat that. Okay. So, we're going to talk about today one of the simplest habits that can make a really big impact on your health. And then this includes no supplements, no heavy equipment or expensive equipment. It's just 10 minutes of movement after eating. Yes, it's that simple. 10 minutes of movement after eating. Can you do it? I'm sure you can. But why movement after meals matters? Why does that matter? When we eat, our blood sugar naturally rises. That's just something that happens. And the goal is not to prevent the rise. We want the rise to happen. What we want to avoid is the spikes and the crashes. And as we age, our bodies actually get more susceptible to those spikes and crashes with different foods. Okay, so we want to try to avoid that. Well, what are some things that we can do? Well, muscle acts like a sponge for glucose, right? So when we eat the sugars, usually we get that spike and crash, especially as we age. And so when we have the muscle, our muscle can actually act like a sponge. So it kind of like absorbs that glucose to avoid that spikes and crashes. So we want muscle as we age, right? That's kind of what I'm saying. But also, walking helps your muscles use the sugar from your meals. So when you eat a meal, it helps walking and movement helps use those sugars. Okay. So less sugar stays circulating in your bloodstream. Okay. So the benefits of this is better blood sugar balance. So better, we don't get as many of the spikes and crashes, right? It's more like on an even keel line, right? It slowly rises, slowly goes down. It's not a huge spike and crash like we want to avoid. We have more stable energy. We're more energized at a more stable base. We don't get that high energy spike from caffeine and then we crash, right? We have more stable energy, fewer afternoon crashes, and better metabolic health. Okay. This doesn't need to be like a huge workout. This is just gentle movement is enough. Just a little bit of movement after you eat. Okay. So, how does it help digestion? Movement encourages digestion. It helps the food in the digestive tract. It helps it move through the digestive tract. So, if you do have problems with maybe constipation or bowel movements, this would be a good thing to do too, to try this. Try to move for 10 minutes after each meal. Okay, because this it may prevent bloating, feeling overly full. Maybe you have a sluggish digestion. You're just feeling, oh, like after you eat. Movement is the best thing to do, even though it might not be the thing that you actually want to do, right? You're like, I just do not want to move. That would be the best time to start moving your body, okay? So many cultures have actually practiced this walking after meals for generations. And sometimes the simplest and health habit has been around for the longest, right? We just maybe forget about it or we don't think it's important anymore because it is so simple, but it's something to look at and to try, right? If we are experiencing some of these things. So benefits for the cravings and the energy crashes, blood sugar spikes often lead to blood sugar crashes. So when we have that huge spike, it often leads to crashing. And so the signs of the crash would be sleepiness, brain fog, irritability, craving sweets, reaching for more caffeine, like, oh, I had this spike and now I'm crashing. Like, I need more caffeine. That's how we feel. You do not need more caffeine. A short walk can actually help soothe out those highs and lows, right? It can soothe out those spikes and crashes. It can support more consistent energy, reduce the urge for snacking shortly after eating, which is amazing. So try that. going for a walk or moving. If you struggle with the afternoon crashes, energy dips, constant snacking, sweet cravings, this is a habit worth trying. And I really encourage you to try this. Why this matters for busy moms. Well, most moms think I don't have time for a workout. And to be honest, I could debate that. Um, but most moms don't have say they don't have time for a workout, okay? So this isn't a workout, but this has a lot of benefits, okay? So walking, it's only 10 minutes. Walking after you eat, it's super beneficial. So some ideas. Walk around the block, walk down the driveway, walk while your kids ride their bikes. Walk while talking on the phone. Maybe you call your friend every afternoon after lunch, or maybe you're a working mom and so you are on the phone a lot. Walk while you're talking, right? If that works for you, do that. Walk around the yard, walk while cleaning up after dinner. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Like you don't have to be like, okay, I have to do this walk around the block after every meal. No, make it different every meal. Do what works for you in that moment where you are, what you are doing. It does not have to be the same thing every time. Consistency matters over intensity. I say that all the time. It's important to be consistent rather than just being intense, right? So you don't have to do this right away after every meal. Pick one meal, right? We're going to start small. Pick one meal, whether that's breakfast. Okay, I can do it after breakfast because I eat an early breakfast. I'm able to go for a walk. Or maybe I'm home after dinner all the time, so I'm going to walk after dinner. Pick one meal first, okay? And then set a timer. Does that work for you? Set a timer for 10 minutes. Walk at a comfortable pace. It does not have to be fast speed walking. It doesn't have to be walking up a hill. It doesn't have to be walking upstairs. Just walk. Just move your body. I want you to notice four things. I want you to notice your energy levels, your digestion, cravings, and mood. Okay, those are four things I want you to notice as you are walking. So the challenge I have for you is for the next 7 days, I want you after one meal each day to walk for 10 minutes. So pick one meal, walk for 10 minutes for the next 7 days. And then I want you to track your energy, cravings, digestion, and mood. And I want you to comment on this video and let me know how you felt after doing those 7 days. Let me know if you're doing it. Comment I'm in. Let me know which meal you chose, how you're gonna walk, what you chose to do. Maybe you're walking different every day. Better health doesn't always come from doing more. It usually comes from doing simple things consistently. So a 10-minute walk may seem very small, but small habits repeated daily create big results, okay? So comment walk if you are joining me, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.